Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had Cat Williams, probably the funniest comedians of all time and the lover of truth, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and have him smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons: Jay, Keith, K, Devil Dog, MCC Placa, Ricardo, Mel Adjusted, Bankroll Suave, Armando, Mickey Bats, Carmine the Pitbull, American Mestizo, Lori, 559CO, Ruben, Cornbrook Killer, Abuelita's Journey, Abuelita's Irma, John Wick, Herbuma AZ, CJ Zavalza, EOP Whisperer, Fuck Your 602, Las Vegas Flights Live, Gavino, Two Rons Don't Make a Right, Priya These Nuts, Lockdown 5, Cristobal La Reina, Winston, Tony, the Mexican Snowman, El Skid, Hobie Cat, Lead With Love, Albert 12, J.I., Esquiel, Big Bad 48, Nova, Linda, the Retired CO, Michigan Wolverines, Mikey 559, the homie Maria, Chevelle 66, Gigi, and Dallas Herrero. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, as you can see, that list is getting bigger and bigger. Make sure you hit that link in the description below. You're definitely missing out. This episode right here, man. First of all, I have to tell you guys, if you have not seen Cat Williams Unleashed on Club Shay Shay YouTube channel, go watch that. Go watch that. I had already respected Cat Williams. Trust me. Dude is by far I told you, man, when I was living with my buddy, when I was at Sentinel, we would watch Cat Williams. I get it now, man. I get why you guys find this channel, our channel, enjoyable. Because there is nothing like the fucking truth, man. And especially in a time and age like this. And there's very few. There's more. There's beginning to be more. But there's very few people speaking out on the truth. And you can tell when somebody's telling the truth, man. They're not thinking shit up. They're not skipping their words. In a nutshell, my boy Cat Williams never sold his soul. Never sold his soul to Hollywood. He exposed the ones that did. Gacho, man. Fuck. Look, there's going to be grimy people everywhere, man. Everywhere. In criminal prison gangs, right? Heavy hitters. You got some grimy vatos. No disrespect. I didn't say all heavy hitters are grimy. Don't get me killed now. CDCR, the people that wear green. Clearly, you got some grimy motherfuckers. Clearly, right? I've been speaking about it for the last year. Hollywood, my boy Cat Williams absolutely refused to sell his soul. Hey, people like that are priceless. People like that, I don't know what else to say, man. I respect integrity. Cannot be bought. Cannot be sold. With that, man, fuck, I'm motivated right now. You see me whipping out the headphones. The homie J Hands from Renegade Media tapped in. He's like, hey, let's knock this video out real quick. I'm like, all right. We tap in often, and it's gonna be a reaction video to how do gang members manipulate prison guards to get another inmate. Like attack. So I started to watch this yesterday, about a few minutes in, 1 minute in. I'm like, oh no, you guys need an authentic reaction. Let's get this motherfucker going.
A subscriber asked me this. It was a good one too, man, because I thought about some scenarios, and I'm pretty sure any other prison channel can tell you about other experiences. It could be done in many ways and many fashions. How do you manipulate a guard in order to get to do a removal or hit a primary target? So I told you guys a long time ago. I know I have new subscribers, but I did a removal on a 270 design. It was with local man from Merced, right? Some of y'all are familiar with the story. So when we did the removal, the best time to do a removal is you're going to have your appointed or assigned staff that work your building all the time. You know, that's their primary schedule.
Those are called the regulars. The regulars in the building. The regular COs, right? I was a regular a few times. I was a regular in Charlie Gym for sure. But the majority of the time I was covered relief, bouncing around, holiday relief, bouncing around. One thing you can get away with is if an inmate tells you, like, Hey, can I get a cell move, CO? You can answer with, oh, I'm not the regular. Hey, can I get some toilet paper, CO? Oh, I'm not the regular. Now, Hector, why you gotta be a dick? Well, you don't know if the day before they handed out toilet paper, right? There's usually a sheet that says when supply day is, but some inmates are manipulative. Some inmates want to see what they can get. They see a new face. That's a form of testing right there. You guys want to know what it's like to be tested or how would the test look like? They see a new fucking face in the building, they're gonna go up to you and start asking you for all kinds of shit, see what you're willing to give up. Today's a rubber band, tomorrow's a fucking asshole full of clavo.
But the perfect time to get over on a staff member is when you get like these substitutes, when somebody fills in for their position, whether they had to go do a different shift, had to go to a meeting, are on all their days off. When we see staff that don't normally work the building, don't know how the building operates, don't know inmates, don't know the corruption within the building, because a prison guard that's worked a building for like 5 or 6 years, he's familiar with all the inmates. He's familiar with who does what. He's familiar with who runs the yard, who runs the building, where the drugs are at. They know all this stuff. A lot of stuff it doesn't bypass them. They just look past it. Like, man, they don't care. They're in their office. As long as they ain't got to stop a fight, whatever you do and get away with it, go ahead, do it. So for local man, they were running the yard. It was yard. There was yard at the time when he was out there on the yard.
I just said that. And
they began running Muslim services. Great minds
think alike.
And the tower cop was a newbie, just been barely hired on 2 years maybe. He hasn't worked our building. So he wasn't looking at the Muslim list. So when somebody came up to me to my door and was like, hey, man, local man's outside, bro. Like, and they're running Muslim services, man. Get your door popped. So all he did was smack the top of my door and told him, hey, man, Muslim services. And the dude on the tower cop just pressed the button.
Ooh!
Next thing you know, 5 of us go out there and jump one dude. Break his leg, break his nose, split his eyebrow.
He's not lying. He's not lying. Of course, he never lies. This is the truth. Look, man, well, you wonder why I feel so inside of me. I feel like it's dangerous. Go to Donovan, Charlie Yard, level 4, SNY, EOP. That's a level 4 fucking yard. There's fences like a level 4. It is supposed to be controlled movement. But let me tell you what the administration, what mental health fostered. Release every single inmate. What you mean release every single inmate? Right, gang release. There may or may not be a button up in the control booth that says gang release. Gang release, you can release a whole fucking section. A section, B section, C section. Gang release that whole motherfucker. You know how dangerous that? You know somebody coming from like me, from Centinela? Yeah, Centinela is not known for being a hardcore fucking prison like Calipat. But it got me thinking, man. It got me thinking. Shit was happening, right? Shit was happening. The staff members at Centinela just knew how to let shit happen. Maybe this is what he's gonna talk about, but like, yeah, you ain't gotta puff it up like, oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. Motherfuckers are getting whacked. Yes, absolutely. But what I was gonna say was, yeah, he hit the nail on the head, man. That boils down to safety and security. This is why it was driving me nuts, man. And these poor brand new officers. And here's the caveat. Here's the fucking catch-all. Here's the catch-22. You got these piece of shit administrators telling you to open every single fucking door verbally on the telephone. Hey, why is mental health services not released? Let them out. As soon as you let them out and they attack each other just like this, who do you think they're going to burn? I've seen it a million fucking times. They're going to burn that poor cop. And when that cop says, hey, wait a minute, the associate warden told me to open the door. Oh, no, I didn't. You know policy. You know policy and procedure. Thank you, Renegade Media. We're like 2 tennis players on the same team on this motherfucker.
And we catch a charge.
I don't know why I said
270 designs, if it's a level 4, it's different. All the doors, they open up around certain times like pill calls. But the one thing that I've seen inmates get away with a lot, and it's very easy, just gotta either time it right or just, you just keep doing it until it's done. But it's an effective strategy that's always used. Medical slips. You want to down somebody? Get his name and CDCR off his door. Have a porter give it to you if he's in another building. I've seen this method used so much, and it's worked. You put in the medical slip. They always release you in the morning. So you got from 8 o'clock in the morning to about 11:30 when yard gets recalled and you go back to your cell.
Dude's giving me flashbacks.
You have that
right
amount of
now.
time for that individual to walk out that door.
And I'm glad I'm
Because
not
if you put in a
prison.
medical slip that night before, he's going to get called first thing in the morning. Majority of the time. Now, it just all depends on what hours he goes.
It's making my stomach unsettled.
They might not run yard. He might make it a medical. You could try it again the next time.
Because it's
so
true.
after they do the 11:30 and you do yard recall, they usually stop medical moves until count time is done. And from count time at 12 o'clock, you got from 12 to 12:30. That's count time. And then from 12:30 to 1, you got a 30-minute window for them to call them up. But most of the time, they're going to call them at 1 o'clock. You know, everybody's eating their lunch.
Tag
nurses
team,
eating
back
their lunch.
again. Sorry, just
then the next yard will come out. So if he's a primary target that's on site, the way we did it in Tehachapi and in Kern Valley, obviously the next yard is going to come out. Whatever gang you're associated with is right there and know about his status. They're going to watch and see him because everybody on the yard is wearing yard clothing. Here he comes out in all blues. And then you just run up to him, go beat him, stab him, pack him out, do whatever it is you got to do. But that was the effective, the most.
He said the inmate is wearing all blues. That's true, man. Anytime you attend a 115 rules violation hearing, you got to come into the program office wearing your blues. It means your blue pants, your blue shirt, as opposed to everybody else on the yard wearing gray shorts, no shirt, a wife beater, you know, like just regular attire, like casual leisure. You got to wear your blues when you go to medical. You got to wear your blues when you go to education. So yes, true, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Effective one that I've ever seen. When the two fibers and the Zapatistas went to war in Sat FD yard, you know, the first initial contact, everybody went on lockdown. But they were just doing regular medical. They weren't escorting us with chains or nothing, no waistbands or nothing. And this was around maybe 2012, almost 2013, the end of 2012.
I gotta interrupt real quick, my boy. Despensa la tira. I get so many new officers I get so many people telling me, hey, I want to be a CO, Hector. I want to be a CO. Is it really that bad? I hear what you're saying and I believe you, but there's people that tell me they love the job, blah, 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 this and that. Look, man, if you're brand new, you're going to get in a wreck without knowing you're going to get in a wreck. And I just told you, your associate wardens, your boss, your captains, your lieutenants, there's some fucking lame sergeants. Don't get it twisted. They're going to call you and tell you to release an inmate that violates policy. And when you do, and that inmate gets booked, stabbed, beat the fuck up, murdered, who the fuck do you think they're going to blame? You. So you answer your own question. Damn, Hector, I'm going to be put in predicaments like that 24/7, 365, all day, every day. Your own people are going to set you up.
So this was probably one of the big wars between STG groups where they weren't throwing us in gang meetings and on gang yards and making us fight each other out so we didn't disrupt the program. They weren't locking us down and doing, you know, medical escorts and chains at the time. Because afterwards, maybe 2 years later, when they started seeing all the STG groups on the SNY go to war with one another, they started handcuffing us. Like, say they'll lock down all the riders and all the 2-5ers, and then they'll do medicals with handcuffs. But even then, if you weren't validated as an STG member on the SNY, you could be out there on yard, you're clicked up, catch this fool sleeping and going to medical, and you can book him right there with his waist chains on in front of a cop. Most of the time, the cop's gonna, if he doesn't get in front of you, he's gonna back up and pull out his baton and try to spray you. But by that time, you mauling him for like 10, 15 seconds, and you're getting sprayed and beat. Doesn't really do much. It's not that effective. So we go on lockdown. Everybody
one more thing. I think because my shit skips a little bit, and my headphones too. I think he said it's not really effective, and he's talking about the pepper spray. Again, if you've never been into a prison, right, and you, in your head, think, oh, these officers, they whip out their pepper spray. They spray the person in the face, and it's instantly over. It's a magical spray that stops everything. Oh, 100% no, man. You got some motherfuckers immune to pepper spray, as in if it's just water, as if somebody got water and threw it on Hector's face. That's how nothing it is, right? And that is why, personally, I always chose hands to use force. Physical force, because I've seen the pepper spray not be effective too many times. I've seen baton be I've seen pepper spray not be effective too many times. I've seen baton not be effective, right? Well, okay, hand's gonna be effective at some fucking point. Get down.
And on the main line, you put in for medical slips because nobody denies medical slips. And even if the dude didn't put in a medical slip, man, you don't know what it is, man. You think it's like an annual checkup. It might be some TB testing. It might be checking out some flu.
COVID test.
That's the thing about inmates. We all know
Lab work.
the common practice, but say if they open up your door and they're like, hey, man, you want to go to medical?
Massage and
Hell yeah,
TTA?
because some inmates look at it like this. Well, I can get out of the cell.
Yup.
I can sneak out to yard.
Yup.
I can go look for some dope.
Yup.
Some dope. They're going to try to find a way to finesse, but most of the time it's just somebody wants to get out of the cell, give his cellie some alone time, some boogie down time, some, you know what I mean, his little boneyard visit. Preach. So most of the time, if you get your door popped and say, hey, get ready for medical, you're going to go to medical. Now, if you know you're a primary target, you can refuse it. But most of the time, like I said, I've seen so many people that were on site don't even.
And for you guys to know, you can't even refuse medical on green side. You have to come to the clinic. The inmate physically has to come to the clinic and sign a refusal. I think a whole liability thing, but he's speaking facts. My boy speaks nothing but facts.
They're on site by the STG groups on the SNY. I'm just speaking from the SNYs because that was like my last experience. They'll just go. And they'll go over there and be like, man, what's up, man? How you doing? They have like their own little parade right there. Hey, what's going on? Pop, 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 pop. Hey, what the pop? And it happens. It's real easy. But the cool part about it is just getting his information. If he's in a building where no STG groups are in there, most of the time there's a STG.
Real quick, because I like where this is going. Motherfucker putting me in a good mood, man. When Jay Hans puts me in a good mood early in the morning, I like it. Anyhow, he's talking about how the inmates' names and CDC numbers are on the door, right? It's like on a construction piece of paper. You have a picture of them. One thing they were doing a lot where other inmates would look at a name, look at a door tag, have their people on the streets mail drugs, mail dope in through the mail, but under the name and the guise of the number that they use on the door, right? So we would find the dope, we would write up the inmate, and the inmate, as a lieutenant, I was adjudicating the 115s, the RVRs, rules violation reports. So they're like ALT, like my motherfucking name and number is on that door. Anybody could have got that fucking name and number on that door and had dope sent to it. I go, you're right, man. You're right. But if they did send you dope and it happened to get through the mail and what would you do? Oh, I would tell you guys. All right, man, that was a trick question. I used to tell them that. That was a trick question and you passed my test, man. Dismissed. I would dismiss the RVR because a lot of the lieutenants would talk with each other in breakfast time. And we'd be like, yeah, that's fucking dumb, man. That's retarded. Like, you're not pinning anything on them. It's just coming through the fucking mail. There's nothing there. Like, so it was a win-win situation for whoever was shooting the dope because, like, if it gets caught, ain't nobody getting in trouble. If it doesn't get caught, people get dope.
Group member in every building. So if none of your group is in there, you can ask a 2-5 or our independent rider or something like this. Hey, man, can you do me a favor, bro? Hey, here's this dude's name, his nickname, and where he's from. Can you find out what cell he's in, man, and get his name and CDC and shoot it to me? And we work together like that because obviously we're promoting and condoning violence and we want to see if removal happen. You know what I mean? But they'll send it to another individual in the cell and he puts the medical slip in. You just got to time it right. You got to know what day you're going to go to yard. And that's the night before you put it in and just hope and pray that he makes it out. That was one of probably the most easiest ones you can do.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's too easy. That's too easy. That's like, if you're going to get hit in prison, you're going to get hit in prison. That's too easy. That goes without saying. Anybody knows that's why, and I learned this in Centinela, you don't open just any fucking door. When the inmates would say, give me a crack, you really had to evaluate. On a level 4 Charlie Yard, GP killers, you really have to know who the inmates are, which cell is which, know their demeanor, read their body language. Hey, give me a crack, or ACO, can I get a crack, right? But the problem is you pop that door's open. It doesn't go, that That's for other prisons. Sentinella, you push a button, that door's open. The inmate opens it and closes it. So you just got to be cautious, man. You know, last thing you want, imagine, imagine, inmate says, hey, give me a crack, CO. You hit the button, you got two motherfuckers running in there with weapons. Your heart's going to drop. Your heart's going to drop because how do you explain that? How do you explain you open a fucking door for another inmate? They're going to burn you. They're going to burn you.
And I have stories and I have pictures. I just got to figure out how to blur it out just a little bit, his wounds. But that's how it was done. We kept putting medical forms in this dude. And dude was going, but he was just going at the wrong times where nobody was around and nobody noticed him until they finally got him. When I went to ER, level 3, pending transfer to Kern Valley and for going at it with the independent riders. I got put on there for 8 months. Opened up a big pipeline, cell phones, dope, you name it. Right there, every hour on a level 3, they open up your door like a 5-10.
See, the thing about Renegade Media is he knows both sides of the house. General population, GP. He was even out of state when out of state was happening. And he knows the sensitive needs yard. Motherfucking, he'll attest, and he has. SNY is a fucking wild. I always say wild, wild west. You guys correct me, say it's a wild west. I don't give a fuck. I like wild, wild west. It's no holds barred, man. Imagine a WWF match back in the day where there's no rules. It's a fucking no disqualification match.
Window. So they crack all the doors. All your doors are open. And I showed up there. Worm was there. Negro was there. Tino from San Jose. Mikeo from Fresno. And there was like a couple other people. We had to clean up house because I came with the CCOs. I just got on the phone with Snoop. He was teaching me to clean the yard up, that they were lacking contact. They were lacking organization. Went over there, started pinpointing who was a rider and who wasn't. Every hour on the hour, that door's going to open. Your door's going to open. You can shut it if you want, if you're inside the cell and you're doing your nasty stuff. If not, you can come from the yard, go in your cell, go grab something, come back out, go back to the yard or kick it in the day room, go take a shower. Cops, all they do is open up the doors and just go to the front window.
Real quick, he just reminded me. Level 4, Charlie Yard. Not even level 4. Fuck it. Level 3. Level 3 because they had day room at the time. Level 4s did not have day room at Sentinella. Back then. I told you about the cracks, right? You got to be cautious on when you crack doors. Back then. Right now, you got COs getting their neck adjusted by inmates. Right now, there's no rules, right? It's a fucking free-for-all for everyone. But the inmates would say, hey, one way. ACO, could I get a one way? One way means I'm gonna go in the pad, I'm going to go in the cell, and I'm going to shut the door behind me. So even though, like I said, Renegade Media said it, there's designated times when the doors are going to open. Yard recall, day room recall. So you really ain't supposed to be opening doors, man. That's how people get killed, stabbed. And for you youngsters, if an inmate says, hey, one way, let me get a one way, please. Or can I get a one way? Hey, that's better. I love the one ways because, hey, take it home, man. Less inmates on the day room, better for me. I don't like too many, my anxiety and shit. I want to relax, even though you can't relax.
Got the yard because what they're doing is they're watching all the inmates come in from yard and get released to yard. So they're not watching what's going on in the building. So when them doors popped open, hey, bro, make sure you're standing at that fool's door, man, and just tell him we're going to give him something. We're going to bring him like some food, some canteen, some hygiene, and just keep that victim at his door. And then we show up 3 or 4 deep, run up in there, beat him up bad. And if you accidentally shut the door, which is not even a problem, you could just tell a tower cop, hey, man, can you tell somebody to get the door open? Tower cop's going to open it and walk away because he's not going to sit there and assume that some dude's getting scraped 5 deep and getting thrown underneath his bunk. And when the CO ain't looking, door gets open, all 5 of us come out, slam the door on that fool, leave him there. The thing about the level 4 270 designs is that
not just ass whoopings, but tattooing, parties. You have motherfucker 5 deep in the cell, chilling. That used to kind of agitate me. Because that just looks bad, man. Imagine your sergeant comes in and you have 5 motherfuckers in the cell. There's only supposed to be 2. Technically, I only think there's only supposed to be, those cells were designed for 1 person. When you have 5 motherfuckers in the cell, hanging out, drinking, doing drugs, taking pictures on cell phones, tattooing, it's just not a good look for the cop in the building.
The one thing, the best opportunity, because I got into a lot of cell fights with a couple of 2-5ers, a couple of dudes that I was burning for dope and stuff like that. Yeah, I went through a bad phase. Is during pill call, they open up everybody's door that's on the pill call line. But you know how easy it is for them to say, hey, man, he needs to go to medical. He needs to grab a medical slip and talk to the doctor. Some cops kind of know, and they'll be like, nah, I ain't open up his door. You could bring him a medical form. But there's that 50-50 chance for that one CO is like, all right, man, hey, don't be going around doing nothing stupid, man. Nah, I got you, man. A lot of inmates do it on the SNY just so they can go for a quick little walk, kick it with their homies. 2-5ers just do it all the time so they can go out there. Because you can walk slow as hell to the pill call line and slow back. So a 5-minute pill call walk.
Real quick, I talked about Cat Williams. Cat Williams was a fucking artist in his craft, right? Of entertaining business, right? I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I understood my craft. The craft of being a prison guard. The craft of being a correctional officer. Did it start like that overnight, day one? No, man. You learn. You get the bumps, the bruises. You fall on the ground. You have good partners that'll pick your ass up, dust you off, and say, don't do that shit again. You have good supervisors back then. Hey, kid, like, oh, man, that would have went all bad. Ooh, shit, Despensa. That's what he's talking about. Those are COs that kind of understand, that knows what's going on, and other ones that are just oblivious, man. It goes bad.
Back and you can drag it out for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then most of the time inmates do that. So when they come back from pill call,
fast forward a little bit.
The back of your head, you woke up on the wrong side of the bunk or on the wrong side of your celly, whatever the case may be, and just start whooping them, whooping them, start slicing them up.
We've gathered a lot. I don't want to steal my boy's material, but we've gathered a lot. He hit the nail on the head, like, and I'm glad. I have never even spoken on like how shit happens like that. Because to me that's normal. To me that would be common sense. You don't open a door when the inmate tells you to open a door. But that's motherfuckers lack common sense. And it has nothing to do with, oh, Hector, you're too strict, you pushing a hard line. No, fuck no. Has everything to do for that reason right there. And you just heard somebody that used to be on the other side say it. That's the truth. And the fucked up thing about it, man, all day long, administration will tell you. One time I was working, ADSEG, lieutenant, and Charlie Yard, RJD, level 4 EOP, they rolled up a lot of knuckleheads. The whole yard was knuckleheads. They rolled them all up. They pretty much rolled up the whole yard. They did like a 67-page confidential saying all these individuals are involved in criminal activity, disruptive group, gang activities. These motherfuckers need to get shipped the hell out of here to hell. That's what happened. The associate warden, not even a bad associate warden. As a matter of fact, just because I'm transparent, the associate warden that sent the blistering email ousting Warden Pollard and Chief Deputy Warden Raquel Buckle. That guy. I had a great rapport with him, for sure. But that's not the point. The point is, I was the ADSEG lieutenant, and I know the rules of ADSEG. Inmates were coming to ADSEG without the proper... I'm going to end it like this. Inmates were coming to ADSEG without the proper paperwork. A proper paperwork would be an ADSEG placement notice, ASU a lockup order, stating why the inmate is in ADSEG, medical 7219 evaluation form, so like notice of medical or unusual occurrence, they have to get medically seen. That way, you know, if they get their ass beat in fucking ADSEG by the officers, they'll be like, look, they didn't come in like this, right? And, shit, my mind blanking out. A 1083 property? So inventory property sheet. I think it's called a 1083. 1 year out, your boy's fucking got my ED went away, but my memory fucking also went away. 1083. Those three forms, right? Well, all these inmates, about 50 of them, were coming to ADSEG without any of that shit. I was holding them up at the door saying, nah, hey, whoa. You know, you could work with your partners and be like, well, fuck her. But 50? Nah. The AW calls me, starts yelling. Not rude, just like, hey man, we're trying to get these dudes rolled up. We're trying to get these motherfuckers out of here. And I'm like, I get it, sir. Okay, cool. This is where I learned my strategy, where I would just write it down on the document. Hey, the fence I serve, but you know how it goes. You already know what time it is. I would write it down. Per AW so-and-so, he advised me to let all these inmates in without the proper documentation, period. I said, let them in. I covered my ass, right? So for you youngsters, that's how I used to cover my ass all the fucking time. And it was happening all the time, right? That way I'm not telling that person no and getting blackballed, which I kind of already was in a way. Not really. The motherfuckers knew they needed me. Who else is going to be the gatekeeper? So who else is going to keep the wolf away from the door? Damn, Hector, you be tooting your own horn too much. Gee. Fortunato is in. What's happening, cuz? Fuck. Forgot where I was going. You start tooting your own horn, you lose the fucking mind, right? So, oh yeah, you don't blackball yourself. You don't have inmates waiting. You just get them in. That's how you do it, man. Do what they tell you, but document that shit. Make copies, make copies, make copies. You don't think Mario Carrillo went around the housing units and stole the logbooks and made them disappear? Motherfuckers over there ripping pages out, lighting our shit on fire. How illegal is that? Anyways, 31 minutes. Can't believe it. Sunday, you ain't got better shit to do. Just kidding. Hopefully you do. Spend time with your family. Go out there, hike. Get some exercise in. Drop down and give me 10, 20 push-ups. Let's do it. With that, thank you guys. Love you guys. Remember, message for today. If it's not documented or it's not written down, it never happened. Keep pushing forward.